Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Ball State Esports stream. We have Overwatch 2 for you. It's on a Monday. It's a little different, but it is Overwatch 2 versus Ohio. I'm Wyatt, a.k.a. Libby Baby, and I am joined by...
My name is Raymond, also known as Ada.
Yes, we are joined by the Overwatch coach himself today because we don't have anyone. No one's available on Mondays, apparently, and he graciously stepped in. So you're the coach. I guess you probably know more than anyone. How do you think today's match is going to go versus Ohio?
Hopefully well. If everything starts going poorly, I will have to sit here and watch and hope for the best. But based off of results, I'm not worried. I believe in them. Yeah,
I hope that they do well too, especially considering the coach is on the desk. So it would be unfortunate if this was the time they struggled. But it's not just us tonight. We have some other matches in the rest of ESC, I think. It says that. Other people plan on a Monday, so we have, and I never know the logos. Of course, Ball State versus Ohio, Miami versus Western Michigan, Kent State versus Bowling Green, Akron's on a bye, Eastern Michigan, I believe, versus Central Michigan, yes, NIU versus U Buffalo, and then Toledo versus NEU. I hope I didn't get those two switched.
I think it's the other way around.
Okay. Yeah, I always get them switched. I'm so bad with the logos. You think I should know by now, considering we say every single week, oh no, I don't know the logos. But yeah, so I guess we can slowly transition into the Ball State roster, which I guess I can let you talk about a little bit once the graphic comes up, because you know these guys very well. Yeah, there they are.
There they are. I mean, all of them are great players. We got Droid on tank, Ghost on DPS with Bordy, and then our support players, Raven, Strider, Yakester, Spencer, and Alphabet. You'll be expecting to see Spencer in all the time with Yakester or Alphabet switching in and out depending on what we feel like playing, but they're all a bunch of studs.
Yeah, that is one thing that is fun to see, is seeing the support players trade out and like being able to run those. Like, we have a support player just for like a certain combo, which is always really fun to see. We also have a graphic for Ohio's roster, so we can see our competition for tonight. We have XBN, Big Whoop, Dexter Pittman, Fresco Water, Akusora. We win these. J. Kuhn, LeBron James, and Muck. Now, I never thought in my life that I would get to commentate over a LeBron James game, but tonight is the night that I get to cast LeBron. So.
And he comes from Ohio.
Yeah. That's pretty fitting.
Yeah.
That is pretty fitting. So yeah, kind of surprised about. I always love looking at the other schools' gamer tags, because I always think, we're so used to Ball State's gamer tags. We're so used to it. So to us, it's normal. So maybe when they see someone named Yakester, they're like, "What type of name is Yakester?" But I am surprised. We always tend to see someone who's like, gamer tag is just their name, like we have Spencer.
Yeah.
But like, we don't actually, I didn't see anyone's though, unless his name is LeBron James. We did not see any of those this time.
Yeah.
So yeah, quite the gamer tags there. I guess to another thing we can quickly transition into is to some last week news. I'm going to start with ESC. Last week we did have Overwatch 2 against Toledo and Akron, which we both won 2-0 against, which those were some entertaining matches, to say the least. And then, so sim racing as well, we have Alif scoring his 5th win of the season in the, bear with me here, CIL Formula College. You should go to Petit Le Mans Grand Prix at Road Atlanta Grand Prix race thing, which is a weird name for a race, but thank you, CIL. Oh, yes, it is 3-0 for ESC. That is how ESC works. It's 3-0. Anyway, and then we also took 2nd and 3rd. So it was a Ball State 1-2-3 on the podium, with Lucas Moody taking 2nd and Kale Davidson taking 3rd, which I was informed by Lucas that's actually different. Usually Kale finishes 2nd and Lucas finishes 3rd, but they switched today. One more thing that Alif did, he in the CSC GT3 Championship at the 2 Hours at Sebring, he won, and he was the first 2-time winner of the season. So he's the first person this season to win 2 races. So that all happened last week for Ball State Esports. Quite a bit happening last week. So yeah, now I guess we just have a ton of time until we get into game. We do have Wordle available if we don't have anything to talk about. So I mean, you got anything you're looking forward to, I guess?
Going back to the names, I also like seeing the other teams' names, because especially just like you load into the lobby. I like to just pick one person. I'm like, look at that guy. They got like LeBron James or something. And it's just like, I wish we had a couple. Like Yakester is probably like our funniest name. Like maybe Bordy as well. But like it would be pretty funny if we just had someone with like a completely random, just like it looks like you made this gamer tag when you were 12.
Yeah, I would love to see us have some of those. I think like throughout maybe the entire program we could have some of those. Like we have, I know we have Fraggleton, and then we have Wombat Baby. That's a funny one. A few funny ones, but yeah, like nothing as legendary as LeBron James as a gamer tag, which is really funny. You know, if they ever go pro, you might have some licensing problems. I mean, know.
You know, that takes some confidence too, because you know that's like a declaration. I'm pretty sure he plays Lucio, so we might be seeing Yakester dunk on LeBron James tonight. So that'll be pretty fun too.
We could see that. We could see Lucio versus Lucio, and one of them happens to be LeBron James, which is just that is such a funny name. The confidence to have that as your gamer tag. I mean, mine's Libby Baby, so I guess that's not like. Mine's also kind of a funny one. I have had people make fun of that in game before, and it's like I literally have that on the back of a shirt, so that kind of hurts my feelings.
Yeah, that's okay.
So I guess we could look at the Wordle as an option. Gotta love having Wordle. Just kind of been a thing that we've been doing ever since CRL when we had a lot of time to kill, so we threw up the Wordle. I guess, do you have any ideas? This is probably the most I've played Wordle these past few weeks in a long time. So.
I don't really know for a starter.
We could start with a do, which is one that I think.
Yeah, I've heard of that one before.
I think like Trinity starts with that a lot. The back room.
It's IE.
Yeah. So we can send that, get most of the vowels out of the way. Okay, so we have an A and we have an E. That's a good start. So we know that A is the first one. Now where does this? And no E here. So it doesn't give us an insane amount of things, because word that starts with A and has an E in it anywhere that isn't the fourth slot.
Let's go with, can we do trace? Like TRACE? Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's helpful.
Okay,
so
well, the E at the end.
E is here. So, yeah, so starts with A, ends with E, and then 3 in between. And no U. I feel like there could be an S in it, maybe. But I don't know what other word to try. You want to try abuse?
Sure.
Even though there's no U, I know there's no U.
That'll work.
But we could try it. ABUSE. Hello? ABUSE, abuse, even though there's no U. So just to see if there's a B or an S. Okay.
All right, great.
Well, at least we're getting stuff out of the way.
Oh, what else could we do?
I feel like it's going to be a hard word.
Yeah. Apple.
It's not, that's not a bad one. Yeah, we could try, apple.
Surely.
That actually could be a really good
Come on, give me some greens. Oh.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So we have L, so we just have 2 tries. And this is the part that's always difficult. Like, with the letters we have left, is this...
Yeah, like we got a Z and an X. I don't think those are in there.
Yeah, surely not. Could it be like... No, never mind. It's not gonna be... Not enough letters. Oh, there's... I wonder if there's an O. Because that's like the only vowel we have left. Like A something O-L-E, but like I don't even know.
A-hole.
It could be. A-N. It's anal word, like A-N-O-L, anal. That's probably not a word.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking that but with an M instead of the N.
Oh, mole. I think that could be a word, but at least just to see if there's an O. Because, like, would there be an O? I don't know anything about words. Sometimes we have people look and try to help us, but we don't have that right now. Just, like, usually whoever ends up sitting in this sim racing chair will always look over it and try and help. But, yeah.
Can we check if a mole is a word?
Yeah, can we just try that? A-M-O-L-E. Is that even a word? Okay.
Well, it's a word.
It's a word, which is... I think I would have rathered it not been a word.
Yeah.
Don't make me fail again. No, it's okay.
Well, now we know there's no O at least.
Yeah, now we know there's no O. Any help? Okay, so as I was right, whoever walks past this way, we have recruited Lucas. See if he has any ideas. Okay, that's actually a pretty good idea.
You know what?
Okay, triangle, angle.
Completely original idea.
Please. If it's not, okay, he did it. Wow, we came up with that all on our own.
Yeah. You know, that's pretty impressive.
I can't believe I didn't think of angle. Angle was the wordle. Okay, wow, we did it.
That wasn't too bad.
It actually wasn't too bad. Usually wordle takes forever.
Yeah, I'm surprised a mole was a word. I didn't expect that one.
Do we want to do connections? I guess we could do connections. Those always tend to be a lot harder. They're fun. Like sometimes you get the really stupid ones. Like I think the most embarrassing one is when it was like the whole thing was like string instruments, and me and Lucas sitting here both play guitar, and we did not pick up on it. Okay, so
there's adults only, mature, ripe, maybe.
Teen, constant, sour, everyone. Photoshop. Onion. I feel like sour
onion, foul, maybe.
Onion, I was thinking like
rank.
Sour, ripe. Like, I guess that's ways to describe something, but I don't really know what else fits.
I wonder if like sour, onion, foul, and rank. Because rank could be like...
Oh, yeah, true. So, sour, onion, and then get rid of ripe and click onion. That could be something. Don't send it yet, but I do think...
Because rank could also be with like uniform or level.
Yeah, but it can also be kind of like...
You could... I'm pretty sure it's a word for that could
like,
fit with that.
That smells rank, dude. Like, you could say that. Or like, tastes rank. I feel like that's what like all the hipsters say or something.
Yeah.
Man, it's very busy in the Esports Center right now. But yeah, we could.
I mean, I'm down to.
I'm down too. Submit it. See if it's something. One away. Okay. So.
I wonder if it's onion.
I feel like maybe ripe instead of onion. Because what else was a way to like describe? Like, I guess a taste. Do you say something tastes ripe, though?
Could be earth.
Because there's also, like, mature, which I feel like could go with ripe, but... I feel like none of these other things are fit with foul, sour, and rank.
I think for sure, mature, adults only, teen, and everyone is one. I'm almost certain about that. I think those are like movie kind of like ratings.
Oh, true. That's a good one. Why video games?
Yeah.
That's a good one. Okay, so that gets a lot out of the way. So we have constant hen house is questionable about where that could be.
I mean, probably with stable, maybe.
Yeah, questionable,
like
stable.
Hen house, stable.
Oh, that's smart. Hen house, stable, because that's where you like hold.
Earth and onion, maybe. With this, they're all like farming things.
That's true.
Kind of.
Yeah, try earth and onion with this. They're all farming. One away again. Okay, so I have a feeling it's got to be.
Ripe instead of Earth, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
It's a farming thing.
True.
Do we want to submit that?
I see the vision of why it could, because I feel like it's got to be either ripe, earth, or sour instead of like, because or maybe not onion. I guess. I don't know.
Oh, I think level, uniform, constant, and stable are together.
That's a good one. Yeah. Those are like meaning
Yeah,
the same thing.
Yeah, I think I'm good with submitting that.
Yeah, try that. Yep.
Nice.
There you go.
Okay.
Okay.
So if we were one away when we had stable in there with the hen house, onion, and earth. So hen house, onion, and earth are together. I would.
Sour or ripe, I feel like.
I would say ripe probably makes the most sense.
I feel like
then, like,
yeah.
what does foul rank, Photoshop, and sour?
True. Like, what do those mean? Well, it's like foul.
Foul, rank, and sour, but what about Photoshop?
Yeah, like where does Photoshop go with any of those? So, because we were one away with henhouse, earth,
Onion, and stable.
yeah. So we know. I feel like,
Henhouse, earth, and onion are all together.
yeah. No.
No.
Oh, henhouse, earth, and onion.
And then it's got to be ripe or sour.
Yeah. Let them in. Can you let them in? Someone. There. Okay, they got. Sorry, someone needed in the center. Okay, so henhouse, earth, onion, and then I feel it's got to be ripe or sour. Okay, let's try ripe. Okay, so is it sour? I feel like it's got to be sour then.
Yeah.
We have one mistake left though.
But I wonder if it.
Like, could it be?
Could it be? I feel like foul doesn't make sense.
Photoshop definitely feel like.
Surely not Photoshop. I want like.
It's like
are we going for like farming here? Like, what's the?
I was thinking farming.
Right.
But like sour is like a weird thing. It's like, I guess we could think, how would ripe rank like earth, and like how does Photoshop fit with anything?
Anything. Yeah, because ripe is with the other one. So ripe, foul, and rank are definitely together as well, I think.
So it would have to be
like, I feel
Photoshop.
Like, but with this, sour makes the most sense, I feel. So then Photoshop would go with the other one.
But surely not. I feel like surely Photoshop does.
Do we want to?
Foul, rank, ripe, and sour? I guess because like that is things that does make sense. But how does Photoshop fit in? Because I see what you mean.
Yeah.
It's all a way of kind of like just like, oh, that tastes foul, that tastes ripe, that tastes sour, that tastes rank. That's a good. That makes sense.
I think it's probably this. I just really wonder what Photoshop fits in with.
Yeah.
I think I'm fine with.
I feel like we gotta send this, and if it's not this, then there's like we would never have gotten it.
Submit.
Yeah. I feel like these gotta go together.
Come on.
They do.
Nice.
Bad smelling.
Yeah, I mean, what is the grouping here?
Yeah, what does this mean? Things with layers.
Photoshop, onion.
They should have had ogre.
Yeah, I was gonna say. If they had Shrek there, I would understand.
Shrek, I would have been like, that's genius. Hen houses. Do hen houses really have layers?
I guess like they kind of have like.
I guess if you want like like a corporate hen house, yeah, I guess you would just call it a chicken coop if it wasn't corporate.
That's okay.
Yeah, man, we cooked. Okay. Yeah. So that was, I guess how Photoshop fitting into that would have been.
I can see it now, but it was like the other one. I thought it would be like farming just because they all were doing like things with that, but.
Yeah, I thought it would have fit in the other way, but
maybe farmers use Photoshop.
Maybe, you never know. You never know what they do, to be honest. So, yeah, I guess try to talk about Overwatch. Have you heard much about the new character that they're adding?
Oh yeah, we were actually doing because she was out over the weekend.
Yeah.
So we did a little bit of play testing. It was pretty fun. We were testing like DPS matchups, how she does in like 1v1s and stuff. So that was pretty interesting. But like she's really weird to play because like the slow motion like mechanic is like, it feels like you're playing a single player game almost. Like if you're playing like Fallout or something and then you get like the auto aim thing, VATS, it feels like that. But then all of a sudden you realize, oh wait, everyone else is still moving in like normal time. You're not slowing everything down. So then it's like, oh, but it's pretty fun. Like she has really like, she doesn't seem to have like any like crazy like overpowered mechanics. Like it's very much so like you need to have good aim to get a lot out of her, but like her movement seems really fun. Her passive is pretty funny, how she just can like, you can pretty much get your ult, use it, and then you get a couple kills and then you have your ult right there again.
I know that she has that crazy thing with her ult. I heard some people say that she's a pretty high, I think they said skill floor character, skill ceiling, like skill floor, yeah. So like she is a very high skill character basically.
Yeah, because like, yeah, like there's not a lot of utility in her kit. Like she has like one of her perks gives her like a slow, but like other than that, she's not like a Mei character where she can like put up walls and like do all this other stuff. Like in order to get value out of her, like you need to hit your shots a lot. And like she's also squishier. She's 225 HP instead of the 250. So you need to have good movement with her to not just get like one shot all the time and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I feel like that's a good thing, having some high skill floor characters, because you know, just like some characters are just like not. We do know what the first map's going to be. Legion Tower again.
Yeah.
This was also the first map last time. But yeah, what is your opinion on Legion Tower?
Definitely overplayed. It's not a bad map because one of the fun things about Control Point is when there's like a bit of diversity between the points. Like you're not playing the exact same thing on every single point. Like I think there's some points on this where you can play like divier comps, like the inside point, like that one is typically like very brawly. So it's not terrible. But especially in this league, it's kind of funny that it gets played so often because we don't have a map pool. It's just whatever we want. But not the end of the world.
Yep, I guess not. I mean, I enjoy the map. I guess one thing I kind of thought of, what's your favorite like team comp to run?
I like dive comps typically. They're a little bit harder to play usually. Yeah. Like, so sometimes it's like, especially in some situations, it's like you might just want to opt for going something like brawlier with like Ramattra or Zarya. It's like a lot of what we've been playing. But to see like a dive comp work like really well is very fun, because it's just I like faster comps, like when it's like you need like you're really slow, you're playing like around a Reinhardt. I'm not as much of a fan of that. Like I kind of like when you're able to kind of stretch the map and just get wherever you want instantly.
Yeah, I would agree. Like when I was playing tank, I actually wasn't much of a fan of dive, even though my most outed character is Wrecking Ball. I just like dive wasn't always my thing. But playing support though, I like dive, especially when I play Ana. I like playing Ana a lot. Like Ana's my favorite support to play, and it's fun to play Ana with a dive comp. I think I am not a very good dive player, but we are gonna get in the game here.
Let's see, we got LeBron James in, Akusora, Topaz, Big Whoop, and Dexter Pittman.
You were right.
There you go, LeBron James on the Lucio. We love to see it. So looking at the compositions here, we got, looks like pretty much mirrors on both sides. Spencer starting on that Kiriko. We don't know if that Juno's going to stay. Looks like it is because they're going to TP out. But yeah, pretty much mirror matchup. It looks like Spencer's going to just ring them out of spawn, but yeah, it will be pretty fun.
Yeah, we've seen Ball State run this lineup quite a bit. You know, they love themselves some just Sojourn, basically. They're going to go for the TP as they make their way to point. Ghost is going to do some damage here, trying to get some early picks maybe onto the team. The Ramatras are going to both push up, get into a little brawl, both using the shield and shooting into it. Looking at Bordy now on that Genji that he loves using so much, taking a bit of damage. He's going to go around here, following Yakester on the Lucio. Now Ghost is going to get some quick shot damage, backing up Droid a little bit as he rushes in with the brawl feature of Ramatra, just doing as much damage as he can. Does use the ability there and does get a nice pick onto LeBron James. Continues doing some firing, doing some damage onto the tank of Ohio here. Droid again going around that corner, activating big guy mode, as I like to call it, to try to push the other Ramatra here, using the block, taking advantage of the abilities. Ghost just going to maybe try fire onto the tank a little bit here, see if he can get another pick like he did. Yakester takes out Topaz, and Yakester also takes out LeBron James again. Hasn't had much playtime. Ball State does have the first one here as this first team fight comes to an end.
Yeah, and one thing that you're going to see a lot of in this matchup is Yakester and Bordy. They're going to be playing together. They're going to be trying to play a bit away from everyone else on the team. They're going to take their own angles and everything. Like in that last fight, that's pretty much what happened. They won and then collapsed all of Ohio into one ball, and then from there, Ball State's just able to capitalize, right? Like right here, you see Bordy fighting on that left side. And yeah, if they're able to win on these angles, it'll be really easy for them.
Yeah, Bordy pushing up a little bit, doing a little bit of flanking, pushing on the left side, just trying to send in here. We do see the Kiri ult come out from Spencer. It's going to be all-out attack for Ball State. Droid's going to rush all the way in. Spencer gets the pick onto the Genji. Ghost is going to follow in, see if he can get a follow-up pick, but they're going to try to push this Ohio team away here. The tank of Ohio taking a lot of damage, going to back up as Droid gets his ult as well to use in the next fight. They are still kind of hanging around here, not much going on. They're about to come through this door, but Droid's using that poke ability of Ramatra, just getting some nice damage as they're walking through the door. Seeing Ghost here getting some firing shots, seeing if he can get a nice pick like he's had. We have the Juno ult coming out now from Ohio, going to allow them to try to mount more of an attack, get a cap. They do manage to get a cap. The Ramatra ult comes out now from Ghost. See what he can do with it. Yakester is going to fall to the Sojourn. LeBron James desperately low on HP. Ghost finishes off as just tearing through everyone here is Ball State. We have the other Ramatra ult coming out now. Topaz using his ult to get a pick onto Ghost. Looking like a bit of a mixed fight here, seeing who's going to come out on top, but it is Ball State who is going to win and recap the point.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, you saw there at the start of the fight, and LeBron James might die here again, but Ball State, they kited out that Juno ult, they ran away, and then they re-engaged with their Ramatra ult, and then Ohio tried to throw a couple more ults in there in the middle of the fight there, but Ball State was able to prevail, and now they have that huge ult advantage. Spencer's almost going to be lapping that Juno ult. Here they go with the Bordy's ult. They counter with the B. Yakester still has B. He can go for the second one here, or they might go with Nick's ult, Ghost.
Yeah, very good use of the B. We are going to hear the Kiri ult come out from Spencer again. Now we also have Ghost's ult coming out. See if he can get some kills with that. It's going to use it to push back. The tank's going to hard dive onto Ghost now, knowing he has his ult, but Ghost is going to be able to take out two as the overtime clock comes out now. Ghost is going to get dived by LeBron James, taking out one, but Yakester wins the Lucio duel. Now Ghost Droid going to push onto the Juno as the overtime clock's going to fall to 0, and Ball State takes the first point.
Yeah, sports get it done. Yakester there killing both of the enemy team supports. We love to see that, but yeah, the ult economy there was really big for Ball State. They were able to kite away from some of those Ohio ults. They didn't let them get any value, any kills or anything like that, and then they were able to all walk in together with their own ults, having more ults, saving them. So really a good display there from Ball State.
Ooh, we're gonna see Droid on Junker Queen here. Ooh. I do like watching Droid play Junker Queen whenever he plays, as I love playing Junker Queen. One thing that I also love watching is Yakester playing Lucio.
Yep.
As a person who can just not wrap their head around Lucio and just not play him well, it is so satisfying to watch a good Lucio player play.
Absolutely.
It does look like they are going to stick onto that Junker Queen, making their way to this point. This is not one of my favorite losing power points. Nice knife there very early on from Droid, stuck in the Ramatra Vortex. Going to back up a little bit, get some healing. They're going to push up with their Ramatra shield. Going to try to get some early damage as they try to take advantage of this point. Topaz is going to take out Yakester. Bordy going to have to fall back here as he's taking a lot of damage. Just going to regroup here as points about to unlock. Pretty decent start for Ohio as they're going to try and get this first cap here.
Yeah, and like I said, like this duel between the Genji Lucios is going to be a really critical part, especially on this point. And if Yakester and Bordy start losing out, Ball State will probably start to struggle a little bit.
Yeah, definitely, as we do see Droid pushing up in there, trying to get a little bit more brawly with the Junker Queen. LeBron James is going to take out Bordy. Ghost getting the tank of Ohio to low HP, getting that nice rail there, going to try and get some nice damage. The tank of Ohio, very low, he does get finished off by Ghost. The Yakester's going to go in, trying to get some attack now, going to follow up on his team, trying to stay on this point here, seeing what Ghost can do. Bordy gets the nice pick onto LeBron James. And yeah, Ball State gonna get the cap of the point here. Ohio managed to get it to 31, but a decent comeback from Ball State as Bordy's gonna dive in, try to get some nice damage. Gets the supports to very low HP. Droid gonna finish off Akasura there. Great stuff from Ball State, keeping this pressure on.
Yeah, and the main difference here in the comps is the tank pick. Like, Droid is on that Junker Queen, so Ball State really wants to play a little bit more aggressive. They don't have nearly as much sustain without that Ramatra, and here you can see that aggression. They're going all the way almost to their spawn. And here again, Ball State has a lot of ults to work with. We'll see. They might choose to go really aggressive with them based on how they're playing right now. Yeah, it looks like they want to go to those spawn doors. Yep, Queen ult comes out early here. And Ghost looks like he's going to get traded, but everyone is super low.
Yeah, the beat ult does come out. Nice Queen ult manages to pick one, kind of an equal footing fight. LeBron James takes out Spencer. Droid taking a lot of damage. Is going to get booped off by LeBron James. Bordy going to try and get some peak damage using the wall climb to get the nice hide there. Ghost going to make his way back to point. He has ult now, but he's going to be forced to fall back as his teammates are not there yet.
Yeah, and we're seeing Ohio kind of, even though they were in their spawn and Ball State was going very aggressive, they were kind of the ones that were able to absorb and live those ultimates at the start and then push back afterwards with that beat, and then Ball State was a little bit overextended.
Yeah, now Ball State gonna have to regroup. They're doing a good job right now. They have most of their team back together here. Droid's gonna maybe push up a little bit as the Junker Queen use that ability. We do see the Kitsu ult come out from Spencer there. Now we have the Ramatra ult coming out from Ohio. It's just gonna be a ton of ults going on right now. The Genji ult comes out. Nice usage of the beat to counter the Genji ult. Droid gets the pick onto the Genji as well to entirely make that Genji ult useless there. Gets the nice axe to get that passive healing. Uses the knife as well. And now Akasura is gonna fall to Ghost. Bordy still has his ult, but he's taking a lot of damage here from this Juno. He is gonna have to back up now as the Juno ult did come out. Didn't even really notice it there from the Ohio team, but it looks like Ball State about has this fight won. Just the Juno, I believe, left of Ohio. Yes, and it does fall, and Ball State's going to get this cap.
Yeah, and Ohio's putting themselves in a pretty difficult situation right now. Like, they committed a lot of ults there. They used almost 4. So now Ball State coming into this fight with 3 ults. They have nothing to counter any of them on Ohio's side. So if Ball State's able to snowball these next few fights, and it doesn't help when Ghost gets an early pick like that either. So Ohio, they need to be able to string a fight win out of almost nothing here.
Yeah, that early pick, super unfortunate from Ohio. Ghost just leveling down the damage with Sojourn, as Sojourn is so good at doing. Goes for the rail, doesn't exactly get anything right with it. Ohio's going to try and take this alternate route to point. They aren't even really close to any of their ults. LeBron James does almost have beat, but they're going to need a lot more to beat Ball State with 3 ults now. Yes, there is Ghost ult coming out. The beat does come out to try and counter. Ghost ult, it's going to be a good use of it. LeBron James going to go heavy on the dive here, but the overtime clock is going to come out, so Ohio's going to need to win this team fight. But Droid getting all those kills there, coming out with the Queen ult, and that's going to cause the overtime clock to fall to 0 as Ball State is going to take this one.
Yeah, and you can see there, like, they let off with that Sojourn ult to kind of get that beat out. The beat comes out. Droid looks in the mid fight for his Queen ult, and then there's nothing for Ohio to be able to respond with, and it's a pretty tough situation for them.
Yeah,
there.
I think just like better usage of ults overall from Ball State is definitely what allowed that, because even in that mid kind of game on the second map, when Ohio had that momentum and they had a lot of the point captured, they invested so many ults into a team fight that they lost, and then Ball State had 4 or like 3 or 4 ready to just like use when they needed it. So yeah.
Yeah, and like that's a big thing, being able to have the composure there. Like when they probably used 2, maybe 3 ults there, and it's like it would have been okay, but then you add on that 4th, and then it just makes it so it's almost unplayable for your team at that point, because you don't really have any options to counter anything that Ball State had.
Yeah, sometimes knowing when to use your ult is a lot harder than you would think, because sometimes you're just in a big team fight and you're just like, oh, I'm going to click Q. I'm going to click Q, and I'm going to just kill everyone. It doesn't always work out, but sometimes you don't need to click Q, and you could save it for the next fight, which I think could have had Ohio come off better there. So Ball State is going to take that first map, and now we're gonna make our way into figure out what the second one is shortly. It's gonna be a I believe they do a hybrid map second.
Yes.
Or do they do hybrid. That's how it works. I always forget. You think I'd remember by now, but I still forget things. So yeah. We do see. I love watching Droid play Junker Queen. It's so entertaining to watch. Just like anyone play Junker Queen, the knives, the axes.
Especially like just when she came out, like it was a very high skill meta all around. You had like right now you have the Sojourn, you have the Genji, you have the Queen. So especially just those characters, the Lucio too. Now you get a Kiri in there. Just like a bunch of mechanical characters all in the game.
Yeah,
very fun to see.
I do enjoy this current meta. Like I think I'm glad that we're not just seeing Hazard all the time.
Yeah,
I hate
absolutely.
Hazard. Hate you, Hazard. I just think he's a boring character, and I think he's an uninspired character in my opinion. But I'm glad that has changed. We have people like Junker Queen being really good, Genji being really good. A lot of characters that are pretty hard to play. I mean, me personally, like I said, I can't wrap my head around Lucio or Genji. I am so bad at Genji. But yeah, Bordy plays Genji really well.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm also pretty happy because like it's very diverse. Like in the pro leagues, of course, it's still kind of a little bit where you might just only see one character, but at least in like pro leagues, they have hero bans, for example, so it kind of forces people to be a little bit more diverse in what they play and things. But even without hero bans, if you're able to kind of commit towards a character like Zarya, Diva, kind of just whatever your tank player is best at, and luckily we have Droid. He's very flexible. He's able to play a lot of these different tanks at very high levels, so it gives us a lot of flexibility. In this next map, we're probably going to see Alphabet coming in for Yakester, and we're going to Midtown, so this will be a good map. We're going to see that double flex support come out, and like I said, it's just there's a lot of flexibility. Whatever your team is like best at and like wants to commit towards playing, they kind of can. It might not be optimal all the time, but it's very interesting to see different styles of play come out.
Yeah, it's always very interesting, and it's nice that at Ball State we have adaptability. That's one thing, especially I feel like in a tank player that you need is adaptability.
Absolutely.
Especially, I'm glad we're kind of getting away from it now, but in that kind of era of Overwatch 2 where it was max counter swapping, having an adaptable tank was really important. Okay, so Midtown coming up. What's your opinion on Midtown as a map? I know you covered it a little bit.
It's pretty okay.
I would agree.
I'm not like it's not my favorite map. I think that second point especially is pretty like it's kind of a little bit defense sided. So especially if you want to break it, you kind of need to have like laid out plans. You need to know how you want to move around the map. You need ultimates. We've been talking about that a lot. Like you need to keep those intact a lot, because a lot of the time to break through a lot of these chokes, you need those ultimates. Otherwise, you're just going to kind of fall over. So it's a very difficult map to attack if you don't know how to like pick apart the opposing team's defense, and you're gonna struggle just because of how far like the sight lines are, how safe a lot of the characters can play on defense.
Yeah, because like this map has so many just like corners. Like you have to like fight around those corners, and when you're on attack, it's so difficult to do if you just don't know how to do it. Like I struggle on this map sometimes especially when I play tank. It's just like having to battle around that corner is so difficult. But I also love defending on that map because it's fun to defend on. Like Sigma, I love playing Sigma on defense on that map. Just place a shield and just like fire rocks in. As it looks like we're gonna get into game.
Yeah, we'll see what the comps are gonna run out, but like especially like Ghost on the Sojourn on this map, he might play like Ashe or something too, but like especially those like long range characters, they can really dominate on this map type. Malga, interesting. We're seeing, if this is what they roll out on, I'd be a little bit shocked. Okay, we're seeing the Malga, and there you go. Ghost is on that Hanzo, and Ohio is on like the Ashe and the Sig. So a lot of these longer range characters are coming into play to take advantage of how much space that you can typically have. And yeah, Ohio's like really leaning into it with the Baptiste and the Zenyatta. So they're going to be looking to play like a very pokey, but especially with Ball State's comp, it can be pretty difficult for Ohio to break through because it looks like we're going to get a little pause. Never mind. But yeah, it's going to be pretty hard for Ohio to break through with this comp if Droid is able to just play a corner, and then when Ohio tries to walk up, he's just going to sprint around, crash out onto the back line, probably with Bordy in there with him, probably Spencer, especially on that Kiriko. You're going to see him play very aggressive on that as well, so we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah, I don't know if I've seen a Hanzo all semester. Very glad to see Hanzo. Bordy gets the nice pick onto Topaz there. That's going to put them very in the bench, but Ghost going to take a lot of damage to that Ash. Ash, a very scary character to play against, as Bordy going to push up a little bit, try to disrupt the backline, the defense of Ohio here, or the offense of Ohio. I mean, Droid just kind of pummeling in some damage with that Mauga, playing this high ground with Alphabet with him. Just seeing what they can do here. Kind of slow pace 2-star. Going to use the dash ability. Maybe going to boost in. See if he can follow up Bordy. Bordy is going to fall and taking a lot of damage now. Droid's going to get pushed back here. Get stuck on the car. Kind of run back. And now we just see Ghost. Nice snipe there with the Widowmaker. Didn't even notice the Widowmaker switch until we see that. Nice pick on the Baptiste. That's going to be useful. He's about to take a lot of damage, though. Going to have to back up. Topaz is going to pick off Alphabet, and it does look like Ohio is about to get this first cap here. Droid attacking Sigma, but using the suck ability, not allowing him to get any damage. Going to push through the shield with the dash, tries to attack the Zenyatta, pick off the healer to try to destroy that Sigma's longevity, but just unable to do so. It looks like they have regained defense a little bit, which is pretty good for them.
Yeah, and the big thing you're going to see with Ball State's comp is they want to play really split. They're going to have Spencer playing with Bordy. They're going to be playing together. Ghost on the Widow is going to be trying to be a little bit unpredictable. And Ohio, they need to play a little bit together. But it's going to be really difficult when you have this Widow just hunting for your backline. And looking now, Bordy is already in there with Droid, and they're going in with that Nano. Spencer goes down early, but this fight is far from lost.
Yeah, nice. Going in with the Nano. Bordy on that Tracer now. Taking a lot of damage. Going to use the recall ability, backing up, just being annoying in the face. That's how you play Tracer. Looking at Alphabet getting picked off. The Sigma kind of on the flank there. Topaz takes off Bordy. Looks like Ohio surely now probably going to be able to get that first cap as Droid switches to Winston.
Yeah, and LeBron James was able to get that Transcendence up, so pretty much all of Ball State's aggression there was completely countered, and then they didn't have the sustain in order to just stay in. So that Sigma comp, if they're able to kind of live off of the first engage or two, it becomes really difficult because they can just whittle you down constantly. So Ball State now switching over to that Winston rather than the Mauga. A little bit better dive, a little bit better flexibility for Droid. So Ohio again going to be having to look to play stacked. There's this Genji over here, right? But if Ball State's able to build their angles and then kill their backline, it's going to be very difficult for Ohio.
Yeah, and the Kitsune comes out from Spencer here. I think we did also see some people get antied. Ghost manages to pick up Topaz, but he's low on HP, going to hold back while he gets that nice healing here. Going to see if he can get another pick. Droid going all in on the offense here, trying to get some damage. The nice anti coming out from Alphabet there. Great stuff as well. Nice bell to keep him alive from that Sigma ult that came out. And yeah, it looks like Ball State's going to be able to hold this here. Ghost going to just be able to hold this at angle. Yeah, it's looking pretty good for them now.
Yeah, and let me tell you, that bell right there is not easy to hit. You need to throw it with a little bit of an arc onto your tank midair at the exact time that he's going to take damage. So beautiful play from Spencer. And now Ball State going into this, the only ult they really have is that Nano Boost. Probably going to go on to Droid, and he's going to look to build his Primal off of it. But Ohio does have some things. They're coming really close to that Trank to be able to respond, and they have both DPS ults. So how they're going to be able to go forward and aggressive with these is going to be interesting.
Yeah, Droid kind of diving up there, seeing if he can get some damage. He's going to go all in now. There goes the Nano. Puts down the shield, manages to get one, destroys the Immortality shield, gets another, and great team fight from Ball State. Now it's pretty much just this Genji left, who's very low on HP. He's going to fall as well. Sigma is there also, seeing what they can do, but with no support, he is going to fall very surely. Just kind of keeping him alive. They're forcing him to stagger. That is unfortunate for Ohio. Great usage of the Nano.
Yeah, and LeBron James, you can see he's 96 on that Transcendence, so you didn't quite get it. He'll have it for this Primal coming up now. But Topaz also kind of throwing away that blade. He didn't really have the follow-up of his team. He got one kill, but now they're going to be lacking that ult. So Ball State, again, I would expect something very aggressive. They're going to lead with that droid ult and then look to follow it up with Spencer's. Oh, but he goes down early. Wow.
Yeah, it does go down very early. The Sigma rock coming out to just totally neutralize him, and everyone's going to focus him. Falls off there, so that's going to be unfortunate for Ball State. But gets the nice snipe with the Widow onto the Ashe. Nice thing there. Going to take a lot of damage from the Genji here. He's going to have to run away. Does manage to do so. Genji's going to try to attack. Nice shield there from Droid to keep his DPS alive. Does use the Widow also now that he has total vision of the team. Droid's doing some faraway damage here. Going to try and rush in, get the Immortality shield on the Baptiste. Baptiste dead now. Sigma going to be forced to back up. LeBron James is being slept, and it's going to fall to Alphabet. Just kind of looking at Droid. Still does have his ult. Probably not going to use it this time, and just forcing Ohio away and maintaining this defense.
Yeah, and I mean, that Widowmaker pick, it's so deadly. Like, this Ashe could do a billion times more damage, but then all of a sudden he hits one headshot and then the entire fight is turned. And look at Spencer and Droid hiding here. They're going to look for a really aggressive play. They counter it immediately, but big anti, he can't get healed at all, but he'll live through it. And I mean, Ghost just gets 2 kills. Like I was saying, that Widowmaker pick is so impactful. If you can't shut him down, he happens to click one head in the fight, it's just over.
Yeah, what a usage there. Like, even though they got the Zenol and they were anti, they lived through it. They still managed to win the team fight. Very great stuff. We saw Bordy going in there on the attack. Droid manages to take out LeBron James, who has now switched to Lucio. And here comes the Winston ult, seeing what he can do with it. Manages to get both supports out of the game. Just kind of rushing away. The Sigma ult's going to come out now, but it's going to fall to Ghost. And now they're going to run out of time. Bob is going to come out as well from Ohio, but just nowhere near. Ball State's just going to dive in now. Going to try and get them off the point to let the overtime clock fall down. It's just the Tracer left now, seeing if they can finish off the Tracer. Overtime clock still out. Ohio's really going to want to try and stay on the point here, or else they are going to lose this first one here. Now the BAP ult's going to come out as well, going to try to amplify the damage, but all of them are just going to fall to Ball State. No one left on the point, and that's going to be the first one for them.
Yeah, and especially like you saw on that play where they went forward with the Kitsune rush, and then Ohio responds with the Transcendence. It's just when you have a team there's so many threats that you need to deal with, right? Like, especially when it's able to come from those support players, right? You got Spencer on the off angle, you got Alphabet throwing those nades in. It becomes so difficult for some teams because, you put all your resources into trying to stop Bordy and Ghost from getting all the kills, and then all of a sudden you have a Kiriko on your head. You have you're constantly antied every fight. It's just makes it so difficult. And then also when those support players, they know how to make those clutch supporting plays, right? Like we saw Spencer hit 2 bells on the Sigma ult, which again, not an easy thing to do, and then still able to make those plays and go into their backline, get some kills, right? Like this team is just so dangerous.
Yeah, I always like to say that the support players are like the unsung heroes, especially Alphabet. Like, someone's always antied right when you need them to be antied. Someone is antied, and it's obviously it's Alphabet on that. You never actually really see, and like it doesn't always look like an Ana's doing that much. But using those nades to the maximum is always a very important thing.
Yeah, and especially if we could see the numbers in this match. Spencer typically has pretty low healing numbers in this kind of comp, just because he's usually playing with Bordy, so that Tracer doesn't have a huge health bar. He's just only healing him, really. And then Alphabet is really in charge of keeping Droid up and keeping kind of the rest of the team up while Spencer goes to deal a little bit more damage.
Yeah, Droid going to go on the dive here. Going to try and get some damage, seeing what he can do. Not really anything this time, just kind of playing wide out, playing some nice positioning, going to attack the Sigma, trying to get some damage on him. Goes behind the shield, puts down the shield of his own. Looking at Bordy now, just kind of waiting in the back, seeing what he's going to do. Sigma and the Winston fight still going on at the front here. He's going to hard dive onto the Torb. Bordy helps him out with the pick. Now LeBron James, seeing what he can do, gonna run away from the Winston, but goes also picks out one of the Ashe. The turret's gonna fall to Alphabet there. Droid kind of low on HP, but forcing Ohio back, gonna try and get this cap. They have enough people to try and stop it, so let's see what they're gonna do. Ghost gets the nice pick onto LeBron James there. And low on HP, but he's going to push up, get some healing. And it does look like Ball State's going to try and get this first cap here. Droid's getting a little low on HP, but getting some healing. Sigma is also very low and antied. at that one point, so he's going to fall, and the BAP is down now. Very low on HP, going to fall here. Looks like Ball State is going to get this first cap, and yeah, definitely going to do so now that all of Ohio's gone.
Yeah, and something I mentioned before the game, this map started is on that first point, you really kind of need to dissect what the enemy's doing and then kind of respond and break their defense. And that's pretty much what Droid and Bordy did. They saw that the Torb was a bit alone, and then they pounced, got that free kill early on, and then everything else crumbled from there.
Yeah, definitely. I would agree. That was a good analysis of that fight. Just kind of like, some of these fights are always funny because it looks like Ball State isn't winning, and then they just do.
Yeah.
Like some of them, it's hard to tell what's always going on as they're going to mirror with the Winston pick now, just kind of going on the dive. Also running a Brig, which is fun to see. Always love seeing a Brig, but Ghost is going to get the pick on LeBron James. Spencer takes out Extra, so they're going to be low on DPS, low on healing is Ohio. Ball State only has to push it to that gold rectangle there to get the win for this map. Droid's going to go hard on the dive, on the Brig, and also the other one. Brig's just going to fall here. Not enough health. Tracer now just going to try and run away. Droid gets the salute onto the Tracer.
And you can see Droid was quite mad at these little signs here. He was trying to jump after that Brig, and he hit his head. So very common thing on Winston.
Yeah, Winston, such a funny character in the game. All right, Kitsu ult's going to come out now from Ball State here. Droid was antied, but he's going to use his ult almost entirely. Counter that, gets two. Bordy finishes off the Winston. He's going to go all in on the dive, gets a third, and then Alphabet takes out Topaz, and that's going to be the team kill and the map win for Ball State.
Yeah, and Ball State, like, if they know how to do anything, they know how to go to the other team's spawn and really push the aggression. We've definitely had some issues in the past with that, where some players, they may go a little bit too far at times, but especially when you have that ultimate advantage like they did in that last fight, you only need to push it a couple meters. The other team's coming out of the spawn. Like, all they're concerned about is trying to get towards the cart, and then all of a sudden you hit them before they even know what's happening. Everything falls apart for them. They get super split, and then you clean up the fight from there. So very well done.
Yeah, definitely very well done. Now, before we get into the next match, I did have this pop into my head because we were thinking about Winston. What is your favorite Overwatch voice line?
I think it's got to be Doomfist and Daisei. Yeah.
I like some of Winston's, like anytime he mentions peanut butter. Does anybody have any peanut butter? Those are so funny. I love those. Any of Balls. Just like I've played so much Ball, so he's a fun one to play. All of his voice lines. I always still do a wish for the day that we get the Ball pick by Droid. I just know that I know that they just don't run Ball. I've talked to him about it before. They just don't. You guys just don't run Ball.
Yeah, I mean, he wants to.
He does? Okay, well,
we've run it here and there with varying levels of success. It's definitely not something that we're necessarily like afraid of, but I think it's just compared to how we're able to play some other things, we've had better success. But you never know, because I mean, the thing is too, it's just every now and then Ball just will get randomly like super buffed, and everyone's like, we gotta play Ball. But
it's just the buff never really seems to change the fact that Ball, compared to like most of the other dive tanks, is just not there. I feel like, because like, you have Winston, you have Doomfist, all the other ones, Hazard, Diva, all those dive tanks, they're all pretty much more or less kind of better than Ball, or can be used better than Ball. Ball, I think in some situations, you know, has his moments, but next map's Saravasa.
Saravasa, yeah. I mean, here, you know, you don't really know what you're going to see. Sometimes people like to play brawly comps. Sometimes they like to play dive comps with those Winstons and things like that popping up. So definitely might see something interesting here. But yeah, like especially going back to Ball, I think the thing about him is that they did give him that buff where now he can give shields to his teammates. So he does have a little bit more to be able to help his teammates now, but that's like one of the big difference makers compared to Winston and Diva, for example. Like, they just help their team a lot more compared to Ball. So if you're going to play Ball, you kind of need your Ball player to be like a little bit insane in a way. Like, they need to know how to play that character down to like an absolute T. They need to know every single little thing that they can do to get all the value out of him, and then maybe you can win with him. So just a little bit more difficult. You kind of need someone that is obsessed with playing the character in order to get like full value out of it, and a team that knows how to play without the extra help from their tank.
Yeah, that's kind of always the problem with ball. I would agree, because like I love playing ball, but you know, you try to play ball in solo queue and everyone's like, why is this guy playing ball? And they just don't want to play with the ball, which is understandable if you don't really know how to play around without having that extra support. But looking at the team comps here, if these actually stay, they don't always tend to stay. Yeah, as I was about to say, already changing. See Droid on the Junker Queen again, and Ghost on the Soldier for a little bit, but is going to change to Ashe.
Yeah, and looks like this is what we're going to be rolling out on. So Ohio with their DPS specifically there, looks like they want to play a little bit more aggressive, and that should like kind of match the energy of Ball State because they got this Queen pick again. So should look like it's just going to be kind of an absolute bloodbath depending how things go, but we're going to look to see some like big crash outs here. Ramatra walking up early already, Bordy taking this angle, and Droid coming real low already, but
yeah, always on this first point of Surabasa, just kind of an all-out brawl. Nice dash by Bordy to take out the opposing Genji. Going to try and finish off LeBron James here. Manages to do so. Yexer actually helps him out with that. Droid also takes out the tank. So it looks like Ball State going to very quickly capture this point here and just going to let this percentage tick up.
Yeah, and one of the major differences beside the tank pick this time around is Ball State does have that Ashe pick compared to Ohio on Tracer. So pretty much if Ball State is able to kind of live off these initial like big engages from Ohio where they dump all their cooldowns, the Tracer dives in, Genji goes in, and then Ghost is able to just kind of live in the mid fight there and just pump out damage, it's going to be pretty difficult for them.
Yeah, Droid taking a lot of damage, going to use the Scream, going to try and get himself back up with help. Nice axe and knife there onto LeBron James. Unfortunate for LeBron. Ghost going to take out Akusora, and now Ball State's just going to push back Ohio here. Very low on HP was Topaz. Now he's going to go all in on the Ramatra, using the axe, using the knife, getting that passive healing, taking him out, and Ball State's going to continue this defense of the point very well.
Yeah, and not going to lie, kind of looked like LeBron caught a stray there. It looked like Droid was going for the knife onto the Ramatra, and LeBron James said, "Just get down, Mr. President," to Dexter Pittman, and you know, he took one for the team, but he does pay for it with his life.
LeBron, always the team player. Just watch a Lakers game. Gonna do Droid just doing some poke damage with that Junker Queen. Looking at Ghost now, seeing what he can do here. Just gonna kind of back up away from Ohio, go to the next point, get ready for this cap.
Yeah, and Ohio does come out here with some swaps. They're onto the Zarya now instead of the Ramatra, so they're going to look to try and get some of that energy, but if Ball State's kind of able to outpace them and then just before that Zarya is able to get a lot of that value and get a lot of that energy out, they're going to struggle a little bit here. And, I mean, that's pretty much exactly what Ball State did. Again, we're seeing them push the boundaries. They're not afraid to fight off of the point. Point hasn't even unlocked yet, and they're already won the fight, right? So if that Zarya pick is able to kind of live on a little bit, survive a little bit, get some energy, she'll be able to put on a lot of hurt, but Ball State's going to try and make that not possible. And here we go again, very early on the engage, straight onto the Juno, and she goes down almost instantly to that engage there. And now you see the Zarya, she's probably full charge here, but just got no team to support it now.
Yeah, you lose the two supports that early. You're just not going to win the fight when you don't have the supports to back you up. And just Ball State using the ults pretty well, just getting the nice early on picks. Go's going to throw in the dynamite there. Going to try and just get some nice damage with that. Doesn't seem like he got anyone with it on that occasion. Going to back up here, make their way maybe back to this point that they already have 50% of. And a nice pick onto the Genji there by Ghost. Very nice. They're going to push back up here. Like we said, they're not afraid of playing aggressive, playing on the attack. Goes for some damage. Doesn't really get it this time, but Ball State still does have two ults that they could invest into this fight, and Spencer's already making his way back to having his own. Ohio does have some ults of their own, but it's all about how they use them. Droid just doing some damage. Now they're going to push in. You do hear the Genji ult and the beat come out to counter the Genji ult. Genji very low on HP, seeing what Ghost can do to try and kill the Genji. The overtime clock is going to fall out, and no one of Ohio is on point. Someone is there now, but Genji is going to fall to Ghost. Members of Ohio still alive, left on point, seeing what they can do. Big Whoop manages to get one. Zarya gets one as well, but Bordy coming out there. On the Zarya ult coming out, managed to get one. Yexer finishes off Big Whoop, and Ohio has gotten point. Who is left on Ohio? I think it's just the Zarya. Yes, it's just the Zarya. Zarya managing to stay alive there. Must have been the ult usage. Now they just have to kill the Zarya as fast as possible. But Ohio is going to make their way back to point now. Most of Ball State is not there. So that's not what they're going to want to see. Using the dynamite, going to try and get some burn damage. Goes for the knife. Does not hit it this time.
Yeah, and it looks like Ball State's trying to clutch this up, but I think Ohio's going to have a slight man advantage here. Droid does have this ult. He very well could look to try and clutch this fight. I see the angle. Oh, he only hits one, and it instantly gets cleansed, so not the value that you need there if you want to full clutch out the fight, but Ball State does have control to point. They're not losing anything for playing in this fight right now. Yakester goes down, and Bordy looks like he's going to follow. Oh, my goodness! How does he live that?
What a dash. What a dash. The ult comes out from Spencer, and now the overtime clock going to fall there. That dash, perfect.
That was incredible. You know, I guess I doubted him for a moment, but he just always proves me wrong. And beautiful fight like that. It looked like it was going wrong. Like, it was just the Zarya. Then they didn't get all the trades they needed. Droid didn't get the value, and now he's on Doomfist, of course. But beautiful clutch there from Bordy. That was sick.
Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, Droid very much enjoys playing Doomfist.
Absolutely.
Yes. I feel like I have heard him say that before.
Yeah.
Just going to go all in on the dive, seeing if he can get anything done, using that block to try to absorb some damage, seeing if he can do anything, using that click ability. Going to go all in with the punch. Yakester and Bordy going to help him out as well. Now going to dive onto the Juno, gets Zarya bubbled, so they don't want to try to do damage while that bubble's out, but still gets the kill. And just all on the attack with his Doomfist and Genji combo. I mean, look at all those kills from Bordy.
Yeah, and like I said before, like, Genji Lucio is so, like, they have to play together. You need to play and, like, win on your angle. But then all of a sudden you go from not only having to beat Bordy and Yakester on the Genji Lucio mirror, but then you have Droid all of a sudden flying in and punching you in the face on Doomfist. It's real difficult.
Yeah.
And here we go early with the Bob coming out. Bordy's looking to live. Oh, he barely doesn't, but the aggression looks like it's going to be enough for Ball State to win out this fight. And another big thing that we haven't even mentioned yet is Flashpoint ticks so quickly. And Droid, yeah, he's able to clean this out. You win one fight, you'll get, like, nearly 40, like 50% sometimes, like compared to control maps where it's a little bit more. And right now we got a little bit of a Lucio 1v1 going on. Is Droid going to ruin the fun? Is Yakester going to go back to his team? I guess they probably told him, you know, let LeBron live for a day, but right back into the fight now.
Yeah. About that Flashpoint, you're right. It just takes up so fast, and it puts on so much pressure. You're just like, oh my gosh, Ball State is already over 90% on the Flashpoint, and we haven't gotten anything. The Zarya ult is going to come out, but it didn't seem like they got too great of a usage of it. Ghost going to see what he can do holding this angle. Ohio is going to cap the point here, so they're going to stay alive for a little bit longer. It looks like Ball State's just going to try to regroup on this one.
Yeah, and I think that it was a grab either on Bordy just by himself or maybe Droid as well, because they didn't pick those guys. But Ohio's going to have to respond here now. There are a lot of ults in play, so whoever kind of cycles, he's better. And Spencer gets the early pick here now. It looks like they're going really aggressive. Spencer gets two, of course, kills both supports in their backline and pops the Kitsune. Looks like not much else that Ohio is going to be able to do here, and looks like Ball State's going to be able to take the series with that fight win.
Definitely right there. Great stuff from them.
Ajax.
Not this time. LeBron going to use the beat. Can he attack Ball State all on his own? Of course not. But now the other support for Ohio is back. Unfortunate for LeBron. The ball switch from Ohio, trying to keep themselves alive here. Going to switch to ball, the fastest way to get back onto point. They're prolonging this game as long as they possibly can. The other Genji making his way there now, but it looks like finally no one's going to be able to touch point, and Ball State's going to take this series.
Yeah, GG's in the chat. Great job by the boys. And yeah, like it's just so hard because, again, it's just when you have a threat at every single position on your team, it's so difficult for teams. They're so scared of dying to the Ghost on Sojourn or Bordy and Yakester, and then all of a sudden, their Kiriko of all people comes out of nowhere, goes into the back line, kills both of their supports before the fight even starts, and then, I mean, all hope is lost at that point. So, just great job, great win.
Yeah, I would agree. You know, it's just like constant dive, and I feel like it's a common theme with Ball State Esports is we just love aggression. It's like we talk about it with our Rocket League team all the time about how aggressive they are. Overwatch too. Just like Spencer on the Kiriko, just all of a sudden, all of our healers just died to their Kiriko, and now it's over. So, yeah, that is pretty unfortunate. I do think we are getting an interview. It is Bordy. So that would be our flex DPS.
Yes.
Bordy. We saw him play mostly Genji today. As he makes his way here. I don't really know what you're going to ask. I guess while he makes his way here, I'm just going to ask you, what's it like being a coach? I had this convo with my friends yesterday of like, I was confused about I kind of know, but like a coach on an esports team.
I think one thing is, especially with the new guys coming in this year with Alphabet, Bordy, and Droid, they bring a lot of new ideas. So it's my job to not only like be kind of ahead of the curve and like understand the game very well, but also be able to incorporate all of these guys' ideas, how they think about the game, structure the team so it works for them. Other than that, it's a big babysitting job. I have to say, Bordy, don't be late. Jack, don't be late. And sure, Mr. 3 lates in the late log.
I think I have the 3 lates.
Yes,
No,
you
I'm
do.
not the only one with 3 though.
Jack has the other one.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, other than the coaching and like Overwatch aspect, just babysitting.
Yeah. Okay. Guess that makes sense. All right. Unless we have anything, I'm down to start the interview here. So one thing that I like to ask is, now that perks have been in the game for a while, what's your opinion on perks? Which perks are you picking? Stuff like that.
I like the perks. I think it's brought a lot of. It's made the game very dynamic in a way. Like Genji was pretty. I mean, he was okay before perks, but now it's like actually good, and that's fun because I used to, back in like Overwatch 1, I used to play Genji, so it's really fun to actually be able to play that hero again. As far as like what perks I'm taking, I think some of them are pretty unbalanced at times. Like Tracer getting a blink per health pack she picks up, that's pretty broken.
Yeah.
I think a big reason Genji's really good is because of the Dragon's Thirst perk, giving you 30% lifesteal on each slash. That's just not fair.
Yeah.
So
Fair enough.
I feel like a lot of times it's pretty clear cut which ones you take. But that's okay. I think they're going to balance around it a bit more in the upcoming times. Spencer's just like looking at me ominously. But I think they'll do a decent job balancing it soon. So we'll see what happens.
Do you have anything to ask? I have another one if you don't.
Let's see. How does it feel like seeing all your teammates, other than like kind of Nick, get to play all these different heroes, and then they're just like, Bordy, go Genji?
I mean, it's like the same thing that happened with like Tracer, where like I got in season 1 when it was the Reaper, Soj, Winston meta. I played the Reaper, and that was really fun. And then my team at the time was like, okay, you're on Tracer now. And I went, I don't know how to play that hero. But, I would say I'm pretty good at Tracer now. I think that's safe to say.
I would say so.
So it's fun to play like my one tricks basically at times, but also, sometimes like a little variation wouldn't hurt, but that's okay. So.
Okay, last thing from me. BK wanted us to ask more of our players this, so I'd like to ask, why did you choose Ball State, and more specifically Ball State Esports, but the Ball State campus as well?
I chose Ball State because it worked out really well for me and my family. Obviously, I mean, a big part of going to college for students. I hope I didn't. Okay. A big part of going to college for students is money, and I will say that was obviously a part of my decision. But also when I came to tour, it was last winter, or it was February, I think, when I came up. And being from Texas, it was cold, but it was pretty nice. Like, I really enjoyed the campus. I think the class sizes, I think, are really nice. Like, I went to, over spring break, I went back home and I visited one of my friends at A&M, and I went to one of his lectures. And it was just a huge room, and I don't know, that just doesn't quite sit right with me, I guess. So I think Ball State just met a lot of criteria for me that I really liked, and it's a very nice campus. So.
Yeah, I would agree. Good answer there. And if you don't have anything else, then I have.
I'm good.
All right, thank you very much.
You don't want to talk about that 3K?
Oh, that was pretty. that was pretty gross. If you watch it back, I said, "Oh, it looks like Bordy's gonna die with Yake here," and then
yeah, it looks like my off angle's feeding again.
yeah, it looks like it's going, and then you get the kill. I'm, oh, my bad.
It was
Sorry.
perfectly timed.
Sorry
It was-
for
You might
sorry
have
for
even
the
heard
doubt.
me. You might have even heard me yell.
Yeah, I did. For
Yeah,
sure.
you
We heard
did.
it all day.
Okay. Well, I wasn't screaming that much today. I'm just saying.
Good for you.
Thank you.
Not as much today, but you know, that's why we have our own center, so they can scream. I'll take the mic from you. Thank you very much for joining us. Good games today. Hold on. Let me just make sure it's off. There we go. So, we have nothing else for you. So, I guess join us tomorrow where you'll all see Otta again for more casting. Our coach is our caster now. And also Thursday, we have more Overwatch, and we also have some upcoming fun streams that I forgot to mention earlier, like April Fool's streams and other stuff like that. So be ready. Follow us on all our social medias to stay up to date. It's State Esports on pretty much everything. Ivan Wyatt, aka Libby Baby. This has been Raymond or Otta. Thank you very much, and he'll see you tomorrow.
I'll see you.